Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. Today we are going to talk about one of the most relevant topic in terms of COVID vaccines, that is how this mRNA based vaccines, this mRNA based COVID vaccines works. So as we know, every organism, every living system, living cells, there is a genetic material, and on the basis of those genetic materials, normally the characteristic feature of the organism is going to be decided. Means what I can say you, the characteristic feature or the character of an organism, living organism, is going to be decided by its which type of DNA it is having. But directly DNA is not directly responsible for its character. DNA gives these organism messenger RNA or RNA. Ultimately this RNA gives proteins, and this protein is directly responsible for its characteristic feature. Means protein is the functional unit of an organism which normally decides the characteristic feature of an organism. And these proteins normally we get from the RNA by a process that is called as translation. Means RNA gives us protein, and this RNA we are going to get it from the DNA. But one important thing here is, every organism does not have DNA as their genetic material, but most of the organism is having DNA as the genetic material. So what we are going to see here is, if a organism have DNA as genetic materials, they going to synthesize this RNA, which normally we are going to call positive sense RNA, because positive sense RNA only going to give you protein, or protein synthesis will be translation process will be done only by using positive sense RNA. So if DNA is genetic materials, organism will get positive sense RNA, and that RNA will give proteins. And if this positive sense RNA is the genetic material of any organism, they are going to be synthesized, going to convert it to double stranded DNA by reverse transcriptions, and then this DNA again gives positive sense, and positive sense gives us proteins. Alternatively, if they are having negative sense RNA as genetic materials, this negative sense RNA will be converted to the positive sense RNA, and then positive sense RNA will give us protein. So this is the different way by which they gets this positive sense RNA for protein synthesis. Means directly protein we are going to get from this messenger RNA. We can call it messenger RNA directly gives us protein. Almost all the living systems, they are having DNA as the genetic material, except few viruses. In those viruses they are having RNA as a genetic material, otherwise most of the cases we are having DNA as a genetic material. So whatever, either DNA, RNA, but ultimately proteins we are going to get from RNA only. So either DNA is the genetic materials or RNA is the genetic material. They gives you a messenger RNA, and this messenger RNA gives us protein. So messenger RNA is responsible for protein synthesis. That I want to say here. Now, this is the basic structure of a coronavirus. If you see this basic structure of coronavirus, they are having a positive sense single-stranded RNA as a genetic materials. This RNA will have different kind of proteins associated with them. These are called as nucleoproteins. On its capsid, that is envelope you can call it, or its covering you can call it, we are having different types of proteins. Some of these proteins are membrane proteins, agglutinin HE proteins, a small membrane envelope protein E protein, and the most important is the spike protein. Why this spike protein is the most important proteins? Because this spike protein is the protein which normally recognizes the host cells and directly binds to the host cells. Means the recognition of the host cells, binding to the host cells, is done through this spike protein S, and all these are proteins. It means all these proteins we are going to get from the RNA only, or messenger RNA you can call it. So RNA, messenger RNA gives us these proteins, and then these proteins helps virus in their normal function, normal reproductive process, normal pathogenesis process. So in this case, in the case of RNA vaccines or mRNA based vaccines, they are going to scientists are going to use the RNA, not directly proteins. We are going to target these spike proteins. They will target these proteins, but not directly using the proteins. They are going to use mRNA. How this RNA vaccine RNA is going to be used and how it will give us immunity, that we will see later on in this today only. Now there are two mRNA based vaccines has been developed and it is in use. One is Moderna vaccines, Moderna COVID-19 vaccine, that is mRNA based vaccines. This code named is called as mRNA-1273. So whatever Moderna has developed, that vaccine is called as mRNA-1273. This is one of the two RNA based vaccines. Other is from the Pfizer BioNTech. So one from the Moderna and second one from the Pfizer BioNTech. This vaccine, Moderna vaccine, is developed by United States National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, in short form we are going to call it NIAID, and Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, BARDA, and third one is the Moderna, who is going to produce it also, manufacture it also. So these are the three different organizations which make this mRNA based vaccines. This Moderna has contracted different groups for the synthesis of some of the components at one place, some of the other components at different place, and then they assemble it together. This mRNA based vaccines composed of nucleoside modified mRNA. So it is not the exactly mRNA, it is the modified RNA. Short means small means in abbreviation we are going to call it modified RNA, mod RNA, which normally encodes the spike protein S of coronavirus, which is encapsulated in lipid nanoparticles. This is one vaccines, Moderna vaccines. That is, you should remember mRNA-1273. Similarly, second vaccines, mRNA based vaccine is from the Pfizer BioNTech, and that vaccine's code name is BNT162b2. Generic name is Tozinamaran and its brand name is Comirnaty. Now this Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, it was developed by German company BioNTech in cooperation with the Pfizer. It is both the first COVID vaccines to be authorized by the stringent regulatory authority for emergency use and the first cleared for its regular use. Here also they have not used directly mRNA, it is the modified RNA. I will tell you what is the modified RNA, what is difference from this RNA and the modified RNA, what is the basic differences. Now, how this RNA vaccines work? So you have already seen the structure of coronavirus, which is having a RNA genetic material, a single stranded genetic material inside the capsules, inside the particles, and surrounded by different proteins. One of the important proteins is the spike proteins. So what scientists have done, they have not used exact this spike protein, they have used, because this is a protein, so obviously there will be genetic material. So virus genetic material, this RNA, there will be RNA for this spike protein. So scientists have used those RNA and make similar RNA in the labs. So it is artificially synthesized RNA, which is normally going to give spike proteins. So they have produced a lab based synthetic RNA, and this RNA they have encapsulated means covered, packed into the lipid nanoparticles. So it is the lipid nanoparticle which is inside, which I mean RNA, which is normally going to give spike proteins. Once this lipid nanoparticles covered RNA is going to be injected into the human or host cells, it is going to induce different kind of, it will because it is RNA, so it will go inside the cells directly. RNA cannot enter into the host cells, so lipid coated normally helps this RNA to enter into the cells. Once it will be enter into the cells, this RNA gives us synthesizes spike proteins, and this spike proteins normally activates host immune systems, especially B cells and T cells. In T cells it will be cytotoxic T cells also and helper T cells also. And once it will be activated, it is going to activate your immune system, it will give you memory cells, and that will be used for further infections. Now that is the basic process, basic principle for how this RNA vaccines is going to be developed. This RNA vaccines, normally there are two types of RNA vaccines. Two types of RNA will be used. One is called as mRNA based vaccines, second one is called as saRNA based vaccines. What is this mRNA? What is this saRNA? mRNA is called as messenger RNA, which is normally gives you the protein. So DNA gives messenger RNA gives protein. So messenger RNA is responsible for the protein synthesis. So Moderna already we have seen it. They have used mRNA. Pfizer BioNTech, they have also used mRNA for this vaccine productions. Another company, that is CureVac, they are also going to use mRNA for this vaccine productions. There are few other companies who are going to use this saRNA based vaccines. What is this saRNA? SA means it is called as self-amplifying RNA. Means normally RNA will have self-amplifications components which will help them for the self-replications. What is the advantages of this regulatory means if you see the structure, this is the mRNA which does not have normal things. This is just RNA. So this RNA gives you a proteins. Once it will be inside the host cells, and that protein will give you the immunity. In case of self-assembly amplifying RNA, this is going to be replicated, amplify. Self-amplify means it is going to autonomously replicated. Because it is going to be replicated, so you need in a small dose. So when we are going to compare mRNA and saRNA, mRNA we require in high dose, and whereas saRNA we require in a small dose. Why we require a small dose? Because it is self-amplifying. It is going to replicate by themselves only. So two company, pharma company who are working on this saRNA based vaccines. They are Imperial College and Arctux. Now, so this Moderna technology have used a nucleotide modified messenger RNA. Why it is called as modified? Because it is not the original RNA, it is the lab based synthetic RNA, and they have used mRNA 1273. Similarly, Pfizer BioNTech also have the modified messenger RNA, and its name is BNT162b2. This is the virus part mRNA. Which is normally responsible for the S protein, S spike proteins, and this is encapsulated in the lipid nanoparticles. So messenger RNA responsible for S protein is packed in the lipid nanoparticles, and that lipid nanoparticle is PE gylated lipid nanoparticles, drug delivery systems. Now, whenever this lipid nanoparticles comes near to the host cell, or when it will be injected into the host cells, it is going to be virus RNA will be directly, either this will be endocytosed inside the cells, or only RNA will be transported inside the cells because of the membrane fusion. So this mRNA, messenger RNA, is going to synthesize many proteins. So because it is a spike protein, it will give you many protein synthesis. So many spike proteins we are going to get from three spike proteins assembled together and make a spike. These spike proteins or spikes is going to be fragmented because it is foreign particles, foreign proteins. So it will be degraded by proteasome complex, and it is going to be presented on our host cell surface with the help of MHC1. Now this MHC1, once it will be presented on MHC1, it is going to activate your CD8 cytotoxic T cells. Plus there are some proteins which is going to be produced outside also, they are also going to be digested, and it is going to activate presented on with the help of MHC2. And because if it will be if a virus particle is going to be engulfed, then it is going to be presented through MHC2, and if it will be protein will be synthesized and then it will be degraded, then it is going to be presented on MHC1. So if it is presented on MHC1, it is going to activate cytotoxic T cells. If it is going to be presented on MHC2, it is going to be activated by CD4 T helper cells. So either by cytotoxic T cells and helper T cells, it is also going to activate B cells through the cytokines. So ultimately we will have memory T cells, T helper cells, memory T cytotoxic T cells, memory B cells, and these memory cells normally helps us in the future infections, because these memory B cells especially going to give you immunoglobulins productions, and this will help for the any future infection, so we will be protected. This mRNA based vaccines is having certain advantages compared to protein vaccines or certain compared to DNA based vaccines. So we are going to just compare few of the vaccines. Like when we are going to use viral vector vaccines, there may be chances of stimulation of innate immunity responses, induction of T cell and B cell immune responses. but induction of anti-vector immunity and cell-based manufacturing system we requires a living systems. When we are going to use DNA-based vaccines, one of the major drawback is it is having the integration power. It may integrate into the host cells, and it is slightly more immunogenic than the RNA-based vaccines. When we are going to use RNA-based vaccine, the most important thing is non-infectious, non-integrating nature. Automatically RNA is, because RNA is less, means less stability, T half-life will be very less compared to DNA, so it will be automatically degraded. Plus we don't require any specific things, only a lipid coated particles we require for the transportation, and the synthesis of this RNA into lab is very easy process. So easy productions, easy synthesis, and no majorly side effects. And only drawback it is having, it is a low immunogenicity, and because of its low stability it is easily degraded. That is the drawback it is having. So it needs to be protected, kept at, if you are going to produce it also, you need to keep it at, or store it at very lower temperature, -20 to -70 degrees centigrade. That is the drawback. So this is how this RNA vaccine is going to be produced and how this RNA vaccine works. So this is all for today. So thank you very much. I hope you have understand it. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. If you have any query, any comments, you can write in the comment box. If for every comments you are going to get a response. If you have not, if you like the video, press the like button. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.